So I would like to bring in a question or to bring up a comparison between two promenades, which is the Marine Drive promenade, which Ratan had a big part to play in the design of which, and also the Carter Promenade, near which I grew up back in the 80s. When there was no promenade. I saw it evolve from just a footpath to then eventually a doggy park came in. Then the playground came in, and then there were gym equipment, and then there was chess sports, and then obviously an amphitheater. So we have two very different promenades. So the Marine Drive, as Ratan would say, the programming naturally happens in Marine Drive, in the Marine Drive promenade, where at 8 a.m. the kind of activities you see is very different. At 8 p.m. the activities are different, and people kind of find their game within this. As opposed to Carter Road Promenade, again, I'm not an urban planner, so I don't know how and when these came up. I just saw this evolution as time went by. Things were built, and people got excited, and people started using that. So is there a conflict of ideas in this? I mean, because if we don't, there's also an idea of if you build it, they will come. So are we saying we don't need to build those parks and the doggy patches and things like that, and let people to their own devices? Or should we also have these things so that people can find their spaces?
So, I mean, it's wonderful that these things are happening. I just come from the school of thought that it's unfortunate that we have to sort of do these kinds of things, like open these spaces, make it like available, tell people about, hey, this is happening, create that whole ambience and get for them to come. So if that ambience was not created, they wouldn't play, is it? I mean, I don't understand. So my question is in terms of the mindset of people of why doesn't it come naturally? Like when we go, even stupid things like we look for houses, or say we're going to look for a new apartment or whatever, we're looking at a new space to rent or buy or whatever. The question is, I mean, we are looking at the size of the rooms, we're looking at the size of the kitchen, maybe you're looking at the size of the house, but what is the importance given to a play space, a play area? There'll be all of this big noise about big swimming pools, basketball court, this, that. But this whole, I think it's got to do a lot with the natural element, naturally, why doesn't it come to people that if there is no play environment, if I may say, so I wouldn't call it particularly play area. I'll also pause here and tell you quickly, in our play to learn centers, it is a physical space, but we piggyback on the space that is given to us by other non-profits, government schools. We don't have a brick and mortar, like a proper structured, okay, this is a play center. It's not like that. We use and convert these classrooms into those play spaces for the kids. We stock them up with board games, activity games, playbooks and stuff. The thing that we've been driving and we've been wanting to push this message out is this whole point of bringing in the conscious play aspect. Are we conscious about play? Do we understand what it means as we grow up? What kind of play personalities will we have as we grow up? It impacts everything that we do as we grow up in our lives. So how is this not given, and like, why doesn't it come naturally to people? Why is it?
So, I'd say Carter Road is designed by adults for adults. Okay. In the Marine Drive process, I'm just taking you back into the kitchen of Marine Drive, where the process of design, I'm just imagine if Marine Drive was built the way adults wanted it built. Okay, you have an 11-meter promenade space, a footpath. Some people want a 2-meter jogging track. Some people want a 1-meter skating track. One person wants a 1.5-meter horse riding track. One person wants a piece of grass so that they can walk around. One guy wants some amenities so they can sit around and see stuff. I mean, where's the space? Yeah, one particular activity takes over the entire promenade. On the other hand, we made a simple rule. We made the simple rule that talked about a 90-10 or a 95-5. Okay, if 95% of the people will use that becomes done. If 5% are going to have dogs and take the dogs to poo on Marine Drive, or 2% are going to have skateboards, or 5% are going to have cycles, yeah, it doesn't create, you don't make that into the entire space. So I think that's a very important thing that one has to consider. Yeah. Yeah, if one is designing for children, one doesn't need to embellish it and integrate all sorts of doodas and things and structures and creatives. Yeah. One has to look at safety, one has to look at security, one has to look at shade maybe, ideally open air, ideally landscaped spaces, okay, good lighting, maybe, I mean, first aid provision, stuff like that. I mean, today it's, we were talking about the kids going out and, you know, getting a scratch. I mean, you see these little kids who are skating or cycling with a helmet and elbow guards and knee pads. And I mean, where are we going with all this stuff? Yeah. So I'm saying, leave the kids alone, let them, give them a safe space, okay, ideally outdoors, fresh air, good sanitation. I mean, not in some sewage or on some garbage pit or where there are flies and dogs and stray dogs and mosquitoes and stuff like that. And you've got magic happening. Yeah. So when you're comparing a very strongly programmed Carter Road, which evolved, okay, Carter Road, there must have been a need for chessboards and therefore they were brought in. There must have been a need for seating and brought in, so a need for some sort of sculpture and brought in, okay. Whereas Marine Drive, there is a need, but if you keep bringing everything in, you'll end up just killing the entire space.
True.
The one word that explained Marine Drive to all of us, and we stuck by it with everything we had, was nothingness. There is nothing on Marine Drive. Yeah, and that's what makes it Marine Drive. The people come in and give it its color. Yeah, the people come in and give it its energy, its activity. The sun goes up and down around it and gives it its light. It changes its form. You have stuff that's happening all the time, and it's completely dynamic. And that's what the beauty is all about. On the other hand, if you had a park with a slide, all you would see is kids going up and sliding down, going up and sliding down, going up and sliding down. The same thing happening millions of times on a day. So that's where I stand on this.
It's to put it in another way, it's one large toy given to the city, isn't it?
Yeah,
Marine Drive is one large toy given to the city,
absolutely.
and you use it any way you want, you know. And I mean, completely agreeing with Ratan on not giving it that nothingness, minimalism, and leaving it open for people to sort of make their own toys from that, you know, maybe probably in their mind, probably someone wants to walk zigzag that day, you know, fine, fair enough, you know. Just to give you an idea, the Elephant Parade, when it happened, they got permission to put it on Marine Drive. You know, it was a wonderful thing where the sculptures were displayed there only for 1 week. But the amount of opposition that we got by people, why? Because it's a good thing, because it just showed that people were using the promenade so extensively that they didn't even want something temporary there to disturb that thing. You know, as an artist, I loved it being there, but it's such a beautiful space. And that, like Ratan says, that 11 meters, it's like a one lifeline that runs around the city, you know, completely.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful.